Mortal Kombat is synonymous for its extreme violence and unique story-driven universe. Does the follow-up to what I claim to be the definitive Mortal Kombat story experience test our might, or does it make us out to be weak, pathetic fools?
You suck.
Church here, and welcome to the Game Grinder. Today we'll be reviewing Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat X was developed by NetherRealm Studios, who also developed the previous Mortal Kombat game. NetherRealm was formed when the original Mortal Kombat developer Midway merged with Warner Bros. Games Chicago in 2010, and is still led by series co-creator Ed Boon. Besides MK9 and 10, NetherRealm has also created Injustice: Gods Among Us, which was a fighting game based on the DC Comics universe. Mortal Kombat X was released in April of 2015 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and I played the game on the PS4. Like all the other main games in the series, Mortal Kombat X is a fighting game. As a continuation of the rebooted storyline and style, this one also returns to the 2D plane instead of the 3D environment like the original releases. The basic gameplay is two characters face off in a round-based match, requiring 2 rounds to win. The characters have a series of standard attacks, punches, kicks, grabs, throws, and the like that may be used individually or chained together to form various amount of combos. Mortal Kombat is well known for the special moves that can be performed that covers everything from fireballs, flying kicks, weapons, and all other sorts of superhuman or supernatural skills may be used alone, or if done right, can be included into combos. In matches, different fighting styles can be chosen, which give access to a couple additional attacks, and can slightly alter characters' appearance. Of course, there are many more advanced fighting mechanics used in fighting games, but I'm not the best at these games, so describing these in more detail would be counterproductive. Another standard technique are the X-ray attacks that were introduced in MK9 and can be performed after certain requirements are met that fill the super meter filled by attacking and blocking. These are particularly brutal and stylishly done, insanely violent and often disturbingly malicious. I think it goes without saying that this sort of game isn't for the faint of heart, and I personally love this sort of enhancement. Yeah, it's disturbing stuff, but it looks so damn cool. For a game like this, these sorts of attacks are the next step on the evolution of boundary pushing. Of course, what Mortal Kombat is most well known for are its infamous controversial fatalities. With the arrival of the next generation of game design, with HD graphics and advanced hardware, these malicious finishing moves are as realistic and as disgusting as they've ever been. Performed when an opponent is defeated after 2 round wins, inputting a specific combination of buttons executes the famous command from the series, finish him. Mortal Kombat is to the death, and this is taken to the length of a twisted creativity that makes one wonder about the humanity that's left in us when we derive entertainment from seeing our characters eviscerated in unimaginable ways. Judge not, lest ye be judged, right? I fucking love this stuff, but I'll admit even I cringe seeing some of these finishers. Additionally, there are brutalities, which are even more crazy fatalities, and faction fatalities, which are special fatalities depending on which faction you have joined. Also added to this release are quitalities, which instantly kill an opponent who decides to leave during a match. Introduced in this installment of Mortal Kombat is the Faction War Mode. We choose to join from one of 5 factions from the game's story, and participate in an online competition with others in said faction, and opposing ones, and win points ranking up our own faction, and earn additional rewards such as unlockable skins to faction fatalities, by winning matches versus others, or even just complete various game challenges or meet special criterias. The Crypt returns, which is the system to unlock extra character skins, fatalities, level variations, and an assortment of concept art. The gist of how it works is playing through the various game modes awards coins, which can then be used on chests or tombstones to access the unlockables. Instead of just using a menu system, they made it a fun and unique experience. We explore an environment in a first-person mode, and navigate around much like in a first-person dungeon crawler. In the various areas, we may encounter enemies, and by hitting the designated command prompt, can slay said baddie and receive additional coins. Certain areas may be blocked off until finding a hidden character weapon, which can be then used to bypass whatever obstacle to locate more unlockable objects. It's a fun experience, but can be annoying if you don't have as many coins as needed to open up the chests, and besides running through a couple times and spending the coins, returning often won't be something you'll do more than a few times. Additionally, there are an assortment of standard modes for offline and online play, such as 1 vs 1 ranked and unranked fights, test your might, test your luck, practice mode, and the assortment of challenge towers, such as classic, living, king of the hill, and survivor modes. Like most current generation games, there are a bunch of earnable achievements, and for a fighting game, there's a ton of things to do, but mostly they're just your regular fighting with whatever situational modifier is in place. Before moving on, I'd like to mention that there will be spoilers, so go ahead and click on the annotation if you'd like to skip ahead. Without further ado then, let's move on.
We thought the long nightmare was over, but it turns out that Shinnok had been manipulating events. Shao Kahn's invasion, his death. All part of Shinnok's plan to escape the Netherrealm and resume his war on the Elder Gods.
It may be strange to some, but the main lure of Mortal Kombat, for me anyways, besides the crazy fighting and violence, are the single-player story campaigns included along with the series, which has become more and more prevalent with each release. It's to the point now where there are pretty much interactive movies using a combination of non-interactive story progressing sequences between gameplay and transition seamlessly to the player-controlled combat scenes for an engaging and immersive experience. Throughout the game's single-player campaign, we bounce between various characters to fill in the important events that progress story, and even to characters to fill in various story elements. In the events of this game, we play as Johnny Cage, Kotal Kahn, Sub-Zero, Kung Jin, Sonya Blade, Devora, Takashi Takeda, Jax, Scorpion, Raiden, Jackie Briggs, and Cassie Cage. Despite the multi-character approach, Cassie Cage really seems like the lead in this piece of the story. Mortal Kombat X picks up where MK9 left off. After the defeat of Shao Kahn in the last Mortal Kombat tournament, Shinnok has laid siege to Earthrealm with his Netherrealm army, which was also made up of Earthrealm heroes slain during the last battle. Along with Raiden, Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, and Kenshi had managed to lure and trap Shinnok in an amulet, and his second-in-command, Quan Chi, is defeated by the remaining Earthrealm heroes, but manages to escape again. Skip ahead 20 years and we take over the stories of Cassie Cage, daughter of Johnny and Sonya, Jackie Briggs, daughter of Jax, Kung Jin, the cousin of Kung Lao, and Takashi Takeda, who is Kenshi's son. As Quan Chi attempts to return Shinnok to power, our new Earthrealm warriors are sent to Outworld to help end a civil war between Mileena and Kotal Kahn and recruit Kotal Kahn's assistance. After executing Mileena, Kotal Kahn decides Earthrealm is unfit to protect the amulet and takes it for himself, and takes Cassie and the crew captive in an attempt to lure Raiden to Outworld. Kotal Kahn's second-in-command, Devora, steals the amulet for Quan Chi and escapes. In an attempt to prevent Quan Chi from getting the amulet, Kenshi recruits Jax from retirement, and they lead an assault on the Netherrealm. Quan Chi is captured and taken back to Earthrealm, but the restored Scorpion interferes, seeking only vengeance against Quan Chi, and ends up allowing Devora to get the amulet to Quan Chi, who's then able to restore Shinnok. Cassie manages to defeat Devora and Shinnok and restore Earthrealm from the Netherrealm takeover. After I played Mortal Kombat 9, I pretty much said it was the definitive Mortal Kombat single-player experience. Mortal Kombat 10 lives up to the continuation of this opinion. It's done in the same style and could easily be adapted into film if the fighting scenes were all scripted and not user-controlled. It's a semi-corny, supernatural kung fu tale with the Mortal Kombat characters and universe, and they've managed to keep the scenes exciting while keeping the story trucking along. The dialogue can be a bit cheesy at times, but it's very fitting to the genre. Also, many of the voice actors are industry veterans coming from other games and even some from anime and cartoons. I briefly mentioned the graphics before, but Mortal Kombat X looks incredible. This new generation of design and animations match that of big-budget CG animated films. Characters move and react very naturally, and the attention to detail is admirable. The fighting looks very realistic and believable, and they don't skip a beat making us feel the impact. The sound design really amplifies the punches and kicks that gives a very nice audio feedback to the violence. The quality of transition from the scripted scenes to the player-controlled fighting is barely noticeable. When I judge a game like Mortal Kombat, for what I get out of it at least, is being a fun, exciting story with some crazy-ass action and violence, and this game does not disappoint. MK9 was the definitive Mortal Kombat game experience, and this is the definitive sequel to that. I had a blast playing through the single-player story, and messing around in the other modes was quite a bit of fun as well. There have been a fair share of people up in arms about the ridiculous inclusion of some of the DLC, from the on-disc DLC of Goro, the $20 Crypt Unlock, and the Easy Fatality DLC, but honestly, just don't buy it. The Goro DLC is kind of bull, but the rest is completely optional and does not detract from the game if it's not purchased, and most of it can be earned while playing the game. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being hated it, 5 being loved it, I'm going with a 5 on Mortal Kombat 10. Thanks for checking out my review of Mortal Kombat 10. What were your thoughts on the game? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked what you've seen or heard, please give the video a like, a share, and subscribe to see future videos. I'm on Twitter and Facebook as well. Until next time on the Game Grinder,